Hola. Hola, all you lovely people. It's old Hatman back again with his beautiful art journey. And it just got more beautiful because I'm regarding this latest work of mine as quite a big breakthrough for me. I finally loosened up and let go. And before I get on to talking about the painting, I think what helped bring this about is I've been in communications with a great, lovely guy from the USA who runs a group on YouTube called World of Creatives, where he discusses his many years of research into what made creators, artists, writers, sculptors, technology people, authors, whoever. What he looked for common things, for lack of a better word, common things that the greats of the creative world did. The masters: Da Vinci, Van Gogh, Picasso, the artists, all the great writers, musicians. He cites Michael Jackson. I'm not particular. Anyway, it doesn't matter who I'm a fan of. I'm into the old jazzers mostly, but he delved into what they did and how they allowed themselves to create monumental work, which changed the way people looked at writing, sculpting, painting, technology, whatever. So he's become quite a self-made authority on the creative processes, if you like. And I left a comment under one of his videos, and he was really touched by something I wrote, thought we were kindred spirits, and wrote to me, asked me to send me an email with some of my work, which I duly did, not expecting anything, because I've done this. I've gone down many blind alleys in my writing, and then more lately photography, and now painting enterprises. But I sent him some photographs of my through glass photography and some examples of my painting, the last 3 or 4 that I've done, not this one. Dwayne Walker is his name, and he runs a YouTube channel called World of Creatives, and he is he's a clever chap, and he's really well informed. He's made himself informed, and he's got a lot of gems to share with us. So anyway, he wrote back quite expansively and said he thought my work was beautiful, and what he noticed, and this is what my hot take, to use modern parlance, my hot take from what Dwayne said is I think he was referring to my paintings, are all about restraint and release. And that chimed with me big time, and I could see it, that how restrained I'd been with my early work, and slowly loosened up, of course, learning how to use tools that were alien to me, brushes and palette knives and other bits. I've been quite experimental from the start, so I've used bubble wrap to create an effect, toothpicks to scratch paint, make texture, create texture, if you like. But anyway, so this was very much on my mind, and I think the previous works, which you can see on this YouTube channel of mine, were 70-80% restraint, and then towards the end I would sort of give it a flourish, maybe at most 20% release. And it's very interesting looking at it in a psychological way, because perhaps my life recently has been a lot about restraint, and this was informing my painting, unsurprisingly. With this painting, I put the old jazz music on, all the old Blue Note jazz geniuses, Coltrane, Miles Davis, Sonny Rollins, Bud Powell, Art Blakey, you name them. And try to eradicate restraint. So obviously I made a background in that, but then I let loose and I got into the groove for the first time. I can honestly say I got into the groove, and it was just music in my head and nothing else, and I let go. And I've got brush marks. I love using a palette knife. It seems to work for me. I drew some straight lines and then, built it up and broke it down, which I think abstract painting is largely about, is building up, breaking down, and layers upon layers. Well, that's what's working for me, I think. I think it's about, 6, 7, 8 layers to this. That would have been one of the first couple of layers, this red mark, and I know this black palette knife strokes, if you like, was maybe in the first or second lives of this artwork, and I was softening and hardening, softening and building up and breaking down, and cool colors and warm colors, and not trying anything really, just balancing it up wherever. I just went with the flow for a change, and it really worked for me. I'm very, very, very pleased with this, and I'll be continuing in this vein. I'm painting over old paintings that were too mannered. I won't say figurative, because I don't think I was always wanting to do abstract, but I found myself doing not figurative, but quite heavily symbolic shapes, trying to convey a message of sorts, and I completely cut that out of this work. And this is about music, of course. My painting's always been about music, but this is about dancing. And I think I was listening to Around Midnight, that classic movie from, I think about 1988. I watched in London when I lived in London. There were two movies that I used to go to sort of alternative cinemas, and there were two movies, Around Midnight and La Moderne, or The Moderns, which was about painting, and obviously Around Midnight about the old jazzers. Dexter Gordon played in that. And the title I'm giving to this work is Dance of the Infidels, which was the title of the Bud Powell track, which gave its name to Around Midnight, as well as the memoir, I forget his name now, of a French guy who wrote about the old jazz generation. I'm talking from, sort of 40s, 50s, 60s, maybe into the 70s. All the old, with the blue note sound, the bebop jazz generation. So this is about dance and jazz, and they become one. And I'm not going to get too pretentious about it because I don't like always art world to speak about art being visceral and immersive and whatever. I do feel myself getting drawn into this when I look at it, as I have since I finished it yesterday. I do feel myself getting pulled. It's very busy. I think all of you on first sight will go, well, that's really busy. I mean, there are a lot of marks. If I can do this without upsetting my rather delicate ecosystem, sorry about the close-up of an old bloke, but I'll take I've got it on a little tripod, but you're going to get some shadow, I think. But if I give you I've got it plugged into a power bank thing here. If I take you on a little journey close up around the piece, you'll be picking up shadow, but you'll see all the marks, and there are a lot of them. So it is very busy, but it gives me a great deal of pleasure, this painting, and this is my scene. This is my groove. I'm going to be put this back. I'm not going to say anything like I think I found my style. But I mean, this took me. I painted over an old painting, one of my earlier efforts, and then, as I say, there's about 8 layers here. So it took me best part of a couple of weeks to do this. I don't paint all day, but I listen to quite a bit of music in the morning, and then my mind turns to painting, and I start visualizing what I want to do next on the canvas. And this is what I've got, Dance of the Infidels. So I hope you like it, and I think we'll be seeing quite a lot more of this. If you can, by the way, subscribe to my channel if you want to, and you may please like or leave a comment. Comments would be fantastic. So I'd love to know what anybody who's watching these videos think of my presentation, which is pretty basic, but I want to show off my art and let people share in what I hope is beauty. So if you want to subscribe, that would be great. But I'm not the kind of guy who's going to pressurize you to hit the subscribe button or like button or whatever. But please leave comments. I'd love to know what you're thinking. Okay, ta-ra. It looked a bit like gang member communication. It wasn't. Bye.